All right, guys, welcome back. It's been another week. So last week, we rounded off the war in Lucia. You were, granted your titles. You had, your rewards from the war itself, and that followed with you effectively finding out that it's like Lord Godwin had gone behind your back and made a deal with the local governor in order to secure that you would uh, extract the Baron to become your prisoner, so to speak. He claimed to have a clause in there that would allow you to drop that if need be, should the local Ecclesiarch deem him unfit for spiritual reasons. That was one thing that was sort of discovered, and in a way, you have dealt with that by calling him out in private. As Lord Godwin now knows that the captain knows, and he did not approve of these actions. Followed by that, you had the Tenebrous Mare returning. Um, Navigator Cadmus made a quick visit to the ship. Actions are yet unknown, and then he returned. And I think there were some overall general preparations for both ships, with the Tenebrous Mare now having a cargo hold that is being outfitted. And correct me if I'm wrong here, Merrick. It's being outfitted to basically create a training ground for the soldiers, so that you can.
It's being retrofitted to have a type of urban combat training thing where, like we discussed, they can practice rappelling, they can practice more unorthodox urban combat, as well as like breaching and room clearing and stuff like that.
So a lot of CQC.
CQC, and as well as just general city type warfare.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. So there's a lot of urban combat. So there's a lot of that with the current dimensions that would allow you to make use of that. It does take up a good chunk of space, as we've discussed. Depending on how much of the cargo you want to use, naturally you can have the tech priest to take all of this down, but it's going to take up about 1/5 of the cargo bay. Just to show the raw materials. Everything stacked together, side by side, once it's taken down. But it does mean that if you need to have emergency space, you have that on the Tenebrous Mare.
All right.
From there, I remember that Matthias paid a visit to Lady Sachi to have a general chat, and OX then picked up that a star had exploded and gone nova. This was documented, and then it was reviewed. And although the crew had been preparing themselves to go to Serum, where this star had exploded, after
Sleepy Time Tonberry said your update, sir.
It was decided that there's just going to be too much radiation. It's not going to be worth it. We're going the other way. So you have now arrived to Thalmius. Though during your travels, does everyone here remember the warning that happened?
Yes.
All right. So, Priestess Emyln gathered everyone together to inform you that there was an event that took place, at least for her. And for her, she advised you that she had been visited. I'll just repeat exactly what it was, or what I've written down for everyone else. I was visited by an angel, but not one which was appointed by him. He stalked our halls, a wolf in sheep's clothing. He comes for one of us, that much I know, for this is what has been foretold. And Priestess Emyln had gathered together all of the player characters only.
And isn't that where we left off after she finished that?
She finished that piece, and that's more or less when the call also came out that you're getting ready to exit the warp. That was on the last day of your warp travels, at the very tail end that this is taking place.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, you are in the Thalmius system. I've just put the ships down there, and you can control them, of course. But it's going to take you approximately 5 days traveling into the inner side of Thalmius to get near the what's it called, the planet. However, unlike previous times, you will be advised by Macedon that Thalmius has actually got long range scanners and therefore already making communications with you. So the paperwork is being very neatly sorted by Macedon, as he's ensuring both ships will be granted entry to the local harbor. As Thalmius, the Forge world, has got its own orbital station where your ships will be able to dock and resupply.
Excellent. And of course, disgorge the cargo that we have, but I know it's not a lot. It's really only specifically because we're using part of our trading, not our trading, our bays as training areas. But I think we had some men, some promethium, and I think industrial oils and lubricants and whatnot.
Exactly, like it's mainly industrial stuff that you've been bringing with you, and primarily warm bodies for people to go and work in the forges.
There you go. Good work.
Oh, I remember what I want to do. Could I get with OX about that tablet we have about
Bloop.
House Uzik Genom?
Yeah, that is what I was thinking about. I was like,
Because I know we needed to get into that.
Yes, what would you like to know about it?
Well, it says next step of info available with 4 degrees of success and 1 degree of success for researching dark books on Thalmius.
Hold on.
I believe, Saxius, didn't you say we still needed to get into the tablet, though?
I got it.
So he got into it. He has been developing a code room specifically for hacking this sort of thing. So he has gotten access, so you can see where the bold wording is, the whole like 4 degrees, and there should be more words beneath it.
Yes, next steps become available after these successes. So 4 degrees of success for what particularly?
I'm sharing this with you.
Okay.
I just shared it.
Okay.
I mean, I have it pulled up right now, unless something changed. Oh wait. It's at the end of it.
careful with the mic, please.
Okay, so we just have to research the books on Thalmius.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Effectively, yes. The tablet has been basically used with like high level Adeptus Mechanicus ciphers and security codes, and it looks to be very similar to that of a Force World Thalmius. Hence, you getting access to their dark books is effectively what you need, because that's where they would be keeping the correct amalgamations and the logic centers for you to then get past these codings and these firewalls.
That leads me to my next question. How likely would they be to let us into that place if we just wanted to do research?
It depends on the status of the person that's trying to get in there, but I'm gonna leave this for the OX to get into.
Okay.
Yeah, you could probably get in there, but what I requisition is the difference. Anyways, so the angel thing. Can I do something to figure out what an angel is?
Mm-hmm.
So what would I roll for that?
Finn, can you mute your mic if you're gonna be messing with Rapper or something?
Oh, sorry.
I would say that you're gonna have to do an intelligence I know you want to broaden it straight down for this specifically. So if you want to deal with this, I'm going to put it a -40 because you only know that it's a quote-unquote angel or something, a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Sure, I will totally try it. It's just trying to see if I would understand.
Yeah, I mean, you can have an understanding that either she had, I mean, there's so many things that could have happened here.
Yep, so here we go. I guarantee I'm not going to pass this, but why the fuck?
Wow.
Yep.
That is very unusual for you. Oh, well,
It was a
-40
-40.
Yeah.
There's not really much to go on. Like, even with your
Mhm.
ship's library, what are you looking for? An angel.
was just- Yeah, I have no idea what I'm like,
I'm afraid it's too vague for you to pinpoint anything down. So you're kind of stuck thinking, like, are we talking about like ordained saints? Are we talking about the celestial beings that have been known to sprout out during times of crisis and hardship?
yeah, so that's all I'm going to go with. It was just something like all of a sudden, do I even understand what that means?
How they would be related to you? Is that what you're asking?
No, it was pretty much all set into a mechanicus. I was trying to figure if I even knew what these things meant.
What might be a better way is like you might want to go ask Emyln to roll to see what perception or something like that to ask her what she means. Might be a better way to go about it because you're not going to know, just from the information said, you're not going to know anything, but you can go ask. It's nothing.
It's true, but I was just thinking like mental thought wise. We're all here, but it's one of those things where all of a sudden my character wouldn't bring something up like that. It's more of an internal like understanding right now.
Yeah, that would pretty much be the case. So
Okay.
So I would have definitely approached Father Xerxes on that one with the angel thing and said, and it wouldn't be like like a bunch of people around, to be like a summons, and it'd be like I understand Lady Emyln talks in the hallowed words of the saints, and so therefore at times her meaning can be a little elusive. Do you see? Do you believe that there's a major concern we should be having at this moment, or do you believe we should investigate further before taking extreme measures?
Saxius, how much would I know on this matter, and how much? Yeah.
So I'm just going to clarify by what you mean. This matters. So, as in
Everything that, yeah,
if angels visiting, hallucinations, anything that comes to things like this.
Yeah, and then like exactly what Emyln said. How much am I going to know, and how much because yeah.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. So let's start from the very beginning. You have been spending a lot of time recently in these in the library, specifically for the forbidden section. So you are very well versed in religion as of right now. So I'm not gonna ask for a roll. I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna assume you're like on 0-1. Like you've rolled a natural 1 for this because you've recently re-educated yourself so much. Visited by an angel, but not one that's appointed by him. that line basically indicates to you that we're looking at either an angel that's fake, so probably a devil of some form,
Mhm.
or you were looking at an angel, but not one that's been appointed by the God Emperor, which then brings into question of like, what the fuck has appointed it? He stalks the hall, a wolf in sheep clothing. It's something that takes on the guise or the body or the look of another in your hall. Something that blends in. It's come from one of much. That much I know. That's rather self-explanatory, and this much has been foretold. Now that's the ominous part.
Mhm.
The ominous part means that whoever this is or whatever this is, this is something that's come out and effectively said, I'm coming for one of, you know, moving for you to all the players. It claims to be on the ship, and it is gone to your second in command ecclesiarchal member. Now, there is the possibility, and you have read this, that there are events where people during warp travel have had horrid hallucinations, but they usually involve, people being driven to madness. It usually involves people hallucinating and seeing things that aren't there. It involves, warp sickness, all of that, all those 9 yards. But this one is, you think it's like a bad omen that's taking place here. It's something that would. It's something that's. How would you put it? I'm gonna have to give you this last message in private because this is
Okay.
something that would be more appropriate to you.
Okay.
Yes, the spoopiness.
Concern.
Do you want me to move you guys down to Librarium?
No.
No,
I'm
he's just
sending. I'm gonna send it via Discord to him, so it's
way
only
more
his eyes.
ominous, though, if I can move you guys.
It's
Way
It's
more
all right.
ominous.
It's all right. I also need everything else here.
I know, I'm just messing. I always love games where you're like, I'm just gonna move us real quick, and then everyone just sits in the channel going ominous, ominous, ominous.
In other words, we're all dead.
Trust me, it's better if you don't know.
Accurate.
Surprisingly, that was like.
Jack.
Surprisingly, that is like the one line one of my players kept on saying in a Call of Cthulhu game, and then the players wanted to know. It did not end well.
Oof.
Eef.
okay. So,
So-
what was your? Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, go on.
Matthias, what was your question again?
Basically, what Matthias asked was, are you able to better interpret it? Because the way she said it can be a little elusive to those of us who don't, fully study basically all of the phrases of the saints, and so if you could better translate. He's just asking, should we be very concerned about this, or is this something that we should learn more about before amping up our level of concern?
I would say it is a level of concern. As though she spoke in a parable, I feel that though she spoke very clearly. The wolf in sheep's clothing is definitely speaking of which one who is stalking and yet looks harmless. So we need to be on guard, even within ourselves. For she said that he has come for one of us. Has come to do what? I do not know. Is it direct harm? Is it to gain information? We must be on guard.
Does she happen to know who or what is coming for us?
Real quick, is Arcus standing next to us?
Oh, are we not all back in the same room?
This would
I
have
don't
just been us for now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No
man,
worries.
you're good. You're good.
So what's troubling to me is that what she said at the ladder is like has been foretold. By whom and by where? I do not know.
True, it is troubling. Foretelling, I've heard amongst some naval captains, can happen as visions of the Emperor, and so the wolves in sheep's clothing. He'll kind of look at you and he's like, I understand her words are powerful, but I understand as a rogue trader, I have to take into account that we may have enemies of the house on the ship itself, and so most things are guarded, and this is why we have a trust inside of the command staff and a powerful militant arm of the house. But are you suggesting that we should heighten security on all vital points of the ship and around important individuals then?
That I cannot say, but something tells me that the sense I am getting is the security within your mind.
Then I will have the command staff and house assets double their litanies and prayers unto the God Emperor to... give me a second. To bolster their mind against the foul and unclean, and to focus their minds on the guidance that the Emperor will send us.
Macedon will remember that.
Macedon senpai, notice me.
Notice me, senpai.
All right, so you're basically declaring are you making this like a shipwide thing? Is this also affecting the Tenebris Mare?
Yeah, as of right now, now it would trickle. It wouldn't be like a shipwide announcement. In my mind, as of right now, it would be declared to officers and then goes down, the chain of command, so that there's no panic
Staff
really. No real panic instilled in it.
Yeah, so it's like a staff meeting where this is being told. They're told to then take it over to their crew, so on and so on.
Yeah, and there'll be an emphasis on increased litanies, not the phrase double, because Matthias would understand the telephone game and how I tell one guy double, and by the time it's 3 steps down, they have to do like 50 litanies a day.
Exactly.
So
If it's not time critical, I would like to sit down or not really sit down, but I would like to talk to Emyln.
Yep, absolutely. So you could definitely find time with her. You've got 5 days before you arrive to Thalmius, so plenty of time to work with. But yeah, she does look to you with a concerned eye, as you find some time away from everyone.
Now, what I'm going to ask, Saxus, you may want to move us in that, because 1, we will be away from everybody, and 2, of what I'm going to ask her.
Sure, we'll go into the librarium for that then.
Okay.
yes, let the ominousness begin. Oh, my bad. Lol, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally grabbed you, Jackie Legs. I went to grab Finn and toss him down, but obviously I missed.
It's all good. Also,
Commissar Pilkington's office. Rip the captain. You just hear some loud bleckums from behind a door, and then a gunshot.
Black 'em. No, you just hear black 'em, black 'em, black 'em, and then you just hear like a body slump down.
Exactly.
Commissar Pilkington has a silenced bolter.
Oh, no. Right.
Suppressed.
No, it's 40k. He just activates a stummer on the side of it.
There you go.
Just activates a stummer on his throne of judgment, which we're going to be building. Oh god, deliciousness. Wiggy.
I want an Emyln Garand so bad.
Oh, in real life?
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty badass.
I want one too.
I want one just for that ping sound.
I want it for the ping.
Fist fight to see who's worthy. There can only be one.
Oh, okay.
Grabs
kind
and his bayonet, stabs.
Yeah, exactly. I would never have it any other way. It's like having all of a sudden, hey, I want a slam fire trench shotgun
Yes.
with bayonet.
Fix bayonets.
Yes. Sexy.
What I really also want is a full auto Sega 12.
Who doesn't want one of those, though? Let's be real.
Okay, Murdoch's is trying to get me all bothered up. He's trying to warm up the Mechanicus, everybody. Stop him.
If there were 3 guns I could have, I would want one, a full auto Sega 12. I would want a Chris Vector, full auto, of course. None of that civilian pansy shit. And I would want shit.
Hold on. Is this one of them hypotheticals? Okay, well, sorry, I don't mean to be that rude guy, but let's talk about stuff at hand. I totally am spacing, and like we should probably get stuff done between ourselves.
I mean, what else are we gonna do? It's literally just listen to the woman who won't speak clear fucking English try to English.
Well, I mean, you can complain about that all you want, but in the end of the day,
it's just like,
so,
what do you want to do, lady? What do you want us to do? Bible verse.
So
She's
pretty much
taken-
what
obvious-
I was doing is all of a sudden I was like, here, I'm gonna initiate this. This is something Brian should do, not I. I will jokingly roll to get this ball rolling.
right? No, well, I mean, your character would know that oaths are oaths, especially being a lead.
Yeah.
No, I was talking to Murdoch. You know that an oath is an oath, man. Like, so,
Yeah.
and you've been informed that she has sworn an oath unto the Emperor to only speak the sacred hymns of
I do,
the
but
saints.
that doesn't mean I can't think that's ridiculous, especially when it's something that could be life or death. Remember,
Obviously,
people
her faith
feel the
is
same-
stronger than yours.
out of character, people feel the same way about Sisters of Silence.
Okay.
I want that on the record.
I don't. You're first out of character. Your character would not fucking know about any of that. Don't
Wait,
let that
this is
dictate
only
the way that you
right?
think in the
Out of
game.
character, people feel the same way about people who do similar shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can the Sisters of Silence at least write stuff?
Yep.
They sign stuff. That's about it. But most people in the Imperium don't know sign language.
Well, then maybe they should get good. Got him.
Actually, now I'm trying to
Out of
learn
character
sign
knowledge?
language now.
Out of your character knowledge. Get out of here. You don't even know it
I'm
exists.
like,
I'm just kidding.
but it's one of those things of like, oh man, it's so sexy.
Right? No, but remember, guys, this is a Forge world, so there's probably going to be a good setup of supplies that are attainable. My real question, I mean, I know it's a Forge world. What the hell are the rest of the planets? If Radius tells us anything, you go there to see all the radiation and about.
There's 2 Gelio. And both of them look like they're made from bones and blood.
That is never. Thanks for the pro tip, yo. Alright, what was I actually going to bring up?
And I'm very surprised that Infernus is gravitational pull is that fucking close to the.
Well, remember, this is just a basic design map, right? If the sun was that tiny compared to these planets, either one of two things. These planets would be ridiculously huge, or this star would be dying, and, well, I mean, at that point, if it's that small, probably be like, what, a dwarf?
Yes.
And probably be turning into a black hole in the next 5,000 years.
7,000 probably.
And Thalmius, they would have built giant retro rockets and fired it out of orbit.
Yeah, and
We shall
this,
survive the cold. We are robot.
Yep.
We are robot. The rest.
Possibly.
They'll just
I don't know,
build something
maybe.
like terraform the planet to survive without sunlight. I mean, Nostromo is the thing.
Ah, yes, the dome inside a dome.
The domey domes of domey idiots. Got him.
God.
Why must there be no season 2 of Konosuba dubbed yet? This makes no sense. Dude, I've seen both seasons. Like, I rewatched the first season dubbed because it's been like 2 years. And then I finally watched the second season, and the second season's not dubbed yet. I'm like, this is
No, it's not.
It needs to be dubbed because the dub for the first season was so fucking great.
No, he was spot on with his voice.
Everyone was.
All I was gonna say though is, man, what the fuck? Let's start hanging out with Murdoch now.
I mean, whenever I get to Washington, man, it'll happen.
I think I'm at A-game. Oh, okay.
No, I meant like literally.
Oh, because you're both weebs for Devil May Cry. Gotcha.
And
Devil May
yeah,
Cry,
well.
Devil May Cry. How dare you not be stylish, David?
Shiny and flashy like dynamite neon.
Who you calling a weeb, you weeb?
Hey,
Oh,
I'm only 1/50th weeb. Get out! Get out!
You know
You
what?
still speak Moonroom.
Preacher.
Still
Ada,
speak
Ada.
Moon Room. Oh my god. Yeah, yes, Ada indeed.
Oh no!
Ada.
Stop that! I showed you Demon Slayer, then you had to do that.
Oh boy, everyone, quickly.
Character in Demon Slayer.
Okay, after that meeting, I'm going to have a direct meeting with Matthias.
Oh,
So,
okay.
d-
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, I'm
Hi.
not gonna stop recording. So if they watch this, they'll find out whatever you say. You can message me the hidden stuff on Discord though, but
that's fine. No, it's completely fine. This is just to keep the illusion at the
Suspense.
moment.
okay.
So I would meet with you because we're going to meet with the entire staff here in a minute.
Oh, this
So
is
that's-
good.
So talking to you directly, Matthias, I just spoke with Lady Emyln, and I think this is a real concern. She told me plainly that she met with a confessioner in the booth, and she was paralyzed upon meeting with him. The way that he was speaking was very smooth, elegant, but there was something about it that was mysterious. She could not gain control over her body until he left. But during his speech, he was very concerned with one of the command staff, quote unquote, if I can remember correctly, losing her way. losing his way.
Okay,
In
his
the
way.
faith.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Her way narrows it down very quickly.
No, losing his way in the faith, and he was really concerned with him. But after meeting, she went to videotapes of and any security footage. Videotapes, that would be funny. But
Picked
any security
recordings.
footage,
Picked
any of the
recordings.
recordings. Yep. Yeah, right. And there's nothing. It shows her entering, but not him. It does not show him leaving, nor could she find him at all.
Hmm.
And I did.
she? Oh, go ahead.
Hmm?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No.
Continue.
I did mention the utterance of chaos. She told me that it is not implausible, for we were going through the warp, and things like this can happen. So again, I urge you to be on guard in your mind, because this wolf in sheep's clothing is coming into your mind. You can move us now.
Okay. Wow. There you go. All
After
right
that,
then.
I'm gonna go to the barracks and just like muster some of the men. Like, hey, just be on alert. Normal drills in terms of like security, and start sweeping the place and just keep an eye out for anything.
You got it, boss. They will basically be a little bit more aware. What form? They don't know, but they will be more aware. They don't question you. They trust you.
I'm also gonna grab the riddle of steel and my hell gun with me.
Yeah. Super. You're very well armed.
Oh boy. So.
Anyway, I started blamming. Yeah, sorry, the actual meme. So anyway, I started, shooting?
No, so anyway, I started blasting.
Blasting, there we go, blasting. Sorry, I was like, blamming? That's not it. Oh boy, oh boy.
I have a question for you, Matthias.
Yes, Tech Priest.
What do you want me to tell the engine crew?
What has happened in my short meeting with the father?
No, like I said, how do you want me to receive this information from the lady?
Oh, gotcha.
I'm asking your guidance.
Sorry, I'm just like, you asked that question right as I get out of a meeting, and I'm just like, what happened? Gotcha. No, with that, he'll say, continue the, have them if they, he's like, you'll have to forgive me as I do not fully understand or even barely comprehend in reality. Goodness. Sorry. Need to silence my phone. Because I'm a child and have that as my notifications tone. If they have not already begun the litanies of protection for themselves and the machines, please have them begin it. I have been warned that something may be afoot aboard our ship, and it is potentially grave.
Understood, sir. I will go inform Audere for his assistance.
Yep, and
Oh boy, let me quickly roll.
Iota, they're all meatbag idiots.
Iota looks at you as you inform him that the litanies and all that, and he says, procedures are already being commenced. Do you require these to be extended?
Yes.
Noted.
He's got an
and
ear
implementing.
He's got an ear to the data sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I'm like, thank you, Iota. Oh, by the way, Iota, here's the update on the data slate.
He looks at it and goes, Omnisire, looks to you. Be praised.
I'm like, yes, now we will go store it away safely.
Safely? I think we require support for this. Tech support.
Understood.
Yes.
Loads guns.
Who does the
Yes.
mechanicus ask for tech support?
He,
Yes.
he slides you a something that he appears to have been making for this. And as you look across, you see that he has taken the requisition form and filled it out in binary. It reads out, requisition, usage of household resources to acquire Skitari. Signed Iota, was like second in command, chief of the Titanicus Legion. Side note: defy the Titanicus Legion.
Wait, and hold on. I know this is out of character. Is he sending that down to the planet?
He wants OX to send that down to the planet, and using the house resources to acquire.
I mean, I don't know about it, but I just love how he has. I like how he's just like, you don't want to piss off the Adeptus Titanicus, do you?
Yeah,
Ooh.
but we're gonna send this to Thalmius, right?
That's the one.
I love it. All of a sudden, my eyes flicker to green, and it's like, yeah, I do. I will accept these papers, and then communicate this to the captain. Why would he never turn us down?
Precisely my logic. It is impenetrable and foolproof, as a meatbag would say.
Understood. Meatbag stuff does happen a lot. We must keep ourselves shiny and prepared.
Super.
Shiny
So
and
that's
chrome.
I was not gonna shout that. I was so tempted, but yes. So that's it with Iota.
Yeah, but the thing is also shiny and prepared. Shiny and chrome.
No,
Witness me, meat bags.
Oh God.
Anyway, so I will bring this requisition to Matthias after telling him that I've informed Iota about pretty much what's transpired.
All right. Oh God. Well, I would have definitely had a immediate captain's. I'll refer to the player characters as captain's staff and then command staff. I mean, does that sound right? Does that sound
sounds alright to me.
acceptable? That way, I don't say command staff and Portunus shows up and he's like, oh God, I was trying to sleep again. Why? I get 3 hours of sleep a night. This is all I get.
A night? You mean a week?
It's
There's a reason why we got that man meth.
It's so sadly true about Portunus. He honestly needs a break at some point. One day.
We gotta cook, Johnny.
But that day is not today.
Exactly.
I'll make sure he gets 1 full hour's worth of rest one of these days.
We got one, right? Okay.
Quick question. Do you also invite over the captain of the Tenebris Mare for that? Or is that, a separate thing?
Oh, man. Goodness. I'll definitely want to meet the man. Probably not right now.
Sure.
There is something, unless he has, been like, hey, I'd love to meet you, this, that, and the other.
No, that's fine. I just needed to check, how far out does this command staff go? Is it just the Righteous Fury, or are we looking at, the wider armada that you're building?
Yeah, gotcha. So I will set up a meeting. I will set up a meeting with the what did I call it? Captain staff. There we go. Captain staff.
Mhm.
So the player characters. And before that, I will, while like I send off an aide to go have them start meeting us in the ready room, with meeting with, and it'll say on their father Xerxes, which means, we've got some information to talk about. He'll go and quickly visit Lady Sachi, or at least he'll message her to be like, "Hey, can I speak with you for a brief moment?"
Yeah, she is definitely free. She will prepare, the lounge for you to come by. She's afraid that it's not in her schedule right now to offer you, tea and biscuits.
And
So,
completely understood. I understand this is a impromptu.
yep. So you definitely come to her quarters again. Her quarters very nicely made. For someone of her standing, nice and close to the the astropathic choir. And she, of course, welcomes you in, gets you to sit down, and then she sits opposite to you. Think like really old country English furniture, sort of outdated.
Nice. So outlandishly expensive, yes.
It is definitely something up there. The only one you could look around and think that would ever be rivaling this would be Regis, yourself, and Cadmus.
Gotcha. All right. Excellent. He says, fine choice in. What would that actually? It wouldn't be furniture. Furniture sounds like too informal. A decorum.
Why, thank you, Captain. I appreciate you noticing.
And she would have seen, actually at this point with me, and I would have had him wait outside, but it'd be one of the stormtroopers who's currently not on teaching duty.
Yep.
And he'll wait outside.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll actually be two of them. Sorry, two of them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
The reason why, and I say, you may have seen that we have escalated down the line a order for everyone to continue to escalate their litanies unto the God Emperor for protection. Have you?
Yes.
And he'll look kind of grave, and he'll kind of focus. And I mean, he doesn't look like grave, like messed up. Like he looks serious, and he's like, Have you noticed anything strange on board the ship? These, how long was the warp travel?
The warp travel was 4 days.
4 days. Okay, in the last week or week and a half.
Yes, I have. As has Navigator Cadmus. I have been conversing with him in regards for this event, and I think him and I are in agreement to what we have both experienced. We are keeping an eye on the situation, so to speak.
May I inquire? I understand that there are secrets that you have between you and the God Emperor, and the same as Cadmus.
I will be very, very transparent with you, Lord Captain, as of course it is our duty to inform you whenever there are things worth, advising you. At the moment, Cadmus and myself found the situation to be significant enough for us to be involved, however, not large enough for us to escalate it up to yourself. The war over Lucia apparently took a toll upon someone on the ship, and they have, for a lack of finer words, opened a box which made a very loud noise within the material.
We're gonna just do a thing real quick. Hold on. gonna do a thing.
It is.
Give me a second.
It is this. Yeah, of course.
Oh, roll the 14. All right, never mind. Nothing. He just shakes his head.
Yeah, you stay there. Yep. This void, this noise that this individual has generated could have attracted attention. And Master Cadmus did also note that over some time back that there was that unknown entity that was encountered when we traveled through the warp.
Ah, the potential ghost ship, I believe as it was called.
She nods. Cadmus, while he was unable to confirm its true nature, has a personal belief in his experience, which I do not doubt, that this ship was attracted to the noise. Now, Cadmus is at the moment in his study, and he will be there while we are within Thalmius until we leave. He is monitoring the warp, its storms, and its surrounding areas. I have not spoken to him yet. I am due to meet him. She looks at, the calendar and says, tomorrow evening for dinner. And we are to discuss our recent findings. And I also need to pay a certain visit to someone who has made some ripples on board this ship. Please understand, Captain. Cadmus and myself both believe that the last week was best needed for the crew to recover, to rest, and to return to a sense of normalcy on board this ship. With the ghost ship and the war, I would imagine a lot of people were at edge. And hence, when I approach this individual, I would not want them to be on high alert when I inform them of their actions and the potential consequences it could have had.
I see. If I may request to accompany you when you go to this individual, I will be, if you require, I will be silent and merely observe.
Yep.
He nods his head. My thanks.
Of course.
The only reason I came here, as you now may know or may surmise, and he'll stop for a second and realize he kind of glanced over some stuff. I do apologize. I appreciate your and Cadmus's astuteness and monitoring the crew's state of will, as things like this can be very bothersome to men and women who are currently involved in a war.
Yes. Thank you.
So, yes, I believe he goes, keep this as of right now under wraps, of course, but it seems that Lady Emyln, our resident ecclesiarch inside the church, has had a vision of sorts and has spoke of a visitation she had. And so that's why I came to you, knowing your, well, understanding that you have skills, and wanted to see if this was to be of a concern. It seems a subtle hand is required at this moment. So I will leave that to you and Cadmus. I do request that I leave one of our House Elysians with both of you as a heightened level of protection, as you have knowledge that most likely should be kept to ourselves at the moment.
She nods with understanding.
Is this
Of course.
amenable to you.
Yes, Captain. This will be. I can work with these parameters.
My thanks. And then he'll, from there he'll, if that is everything well, I have said everything I was hoping to speak to you of. If there anything you wish to bring to light other than the current situation.
At this point in time, seems very trivial, but my choir is only 2 astropaths at the moment. Although it is doable, it is also stretched resources if we were to expand it. I would like to inspect the Tenebris Mayor's choir and see what their state is and whether we can even out resources. I have prepared the necessary documents for this, she says, motioning towards a table where there is paperwork, but I will forward this for Macedon to provide you a summary and not have the usual long-winded presentation and discussions I hear some other crew members enjoy.
Ah. And he'll actually smile about that and nod. I'm sorry if I apologize if Fortunus was overexcited in his details to you. And you said originally, right? Fortunus he's not like low stature, but he's not noble. He's like probably like what would be considered like an upper middle class kind of, or would he be like just middle class?
He's a bureaucrat. He's middle class. He's by everyone's comparison, he's just a commoner who has made himself really useful. When you look at it from the noble's perspective.
Gotcha.
I will level it up with you. That's not what she's referring to. She's referring to Iota and Portunus battling it out with debate.
Ah, got you. Okay, yeah. Did she catch wind of that?
Everyone knows about that now. That's like Mechanicus versus Administratum. Everyone gets popcorn to see who won.
Right. And the Ecclesiarchy's in the background to see who they can beat up on afterwards. Yes. I have forwarded some paperwork to the desks of wow, it's really weird. Sorry. Master Portunus and Godwin, and they are to assist you should the Tenebris Mayor not be able to provide you with individuals that you would want.
Mm-hmm.
I hope potentially Thalmius may have some that we can acquire, and have, of course, opened that to you, as you are the professional and have the eye for such things.
Yep.
So, all right, with that, he'll be like, then I bid you adieu, and like he'll just kind of nod, and when he exits the door, he'll have one of the Elysians. He'll be like, you are to the whole entire concept of you're here to set up a watch. You're now watching the person that lives here, who they know who it is, and you're supposed to rotate out so that the one guy, I've been here for 36 hours and no one's relieved me.
Exactly. Hey, they'll take care of that naturally, so
Gotcha.
They will do that and it won't disturb, so that's fine.
Awesome.
That's not a problem. They'll bring over like a chair or something, so when they have to sit, they can do that, and they can stand up and do all of that.
Yep. All right. Now off to the other meeting. Unless anyone else has anything they want to do in the middle of that while I was doing all that junk.
Let me see here. Does anyone have got anything they want to do? Otherwise, I'll just time progress some things.
Well, I am going to go through all the thing about that message he would like to receive. So I hand it to the captain. I'm like, here you go. I'd like this broadcast of time.
To Thalmius, all right. And that's the request for the Skitari then, right?
Yes.
Access denied.
Oh God, not like this. The real question is in boiling it down. I mean, I can make some rolls if you would like, but because I have commerce and whatnot. But basically, I'm trying to figure out how many men you guys are looking for and what it's actually going to cost.
So, Iota has requested only for 10 Skitari, which will make it a little bit more doable. Let me get out the exact book here.
It's only 10 Skitari, guys. Come on, y'all can spare 10 Skitari.
Thank you, thank you, Murdoch. I appreciate this.
Character,
I'll remember it.
Out of character, Matthias is concerned. Why do they need 10 Skitari? So Iota doesn't have to deal with Portunus anymore.
That's a very specific number.
Oh my god, I swear to god if infighting starts on the ship, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Who's to say it hasn't already? No, I'm kidding.
Technically, well, bureaucracy has started on the ship, but that's a standard in the Imperium in general.
It's fine.
People die on our ship every day.
Listen, people
Fuck
die
off,
in weird.
Portunus.
People die in weird training act.
Oh my god, Portunus, you mad bastard!
When even Oscar's mad at that roll, you know it's good.
Oh fuck! And then a plus 10 from, and then a plus 10 from Regis. Fuck off, you combo.
Yeah. Well,
And see, Murdoch, this is why I didn't spank Godwin hard.
Just enough.
Yeah, you let him know, hey, I like what you did, because I was even thinking about it, but you didn't talk to me about it first.
Look at me. I am the captain.
I am the captain, even though this is a role-playing game and we're a group. We make decisions as a group.
This isn't
Oh, I got a 5.
What's going on?
Portunus is arguing with the Mechanicus. I don't think he's going to have any friends with the Mechanicus by the end of this.
He's very good at Mechanicus politics.
His mother was part Mechanicus. A servitor, of course, but you know. Wait, what?
Okay, so do you accept the request and put it through the usual channels to see whether they can be acquired by household methods?
Oh, yeah.
Commence
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
eyes at Captain.
Yeah, right. Hold on, let me see the roll for the Kawaii. Let me see the roll.
All right, hold on. This is gonna be a terrible roll because my fellowship. Hold on. Do you want me to use my intelligence or my fellowship? Because my
whatever one works for you. I mean, if you can justify it. I mean, in reality, I'm not an unreasonable man. I just want to see what we roll. That's what I want to see, because, I mean, the answer's... Yep, there it is. Still roll pretty well.
So, is the process is accepted, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm understanding. Okay, cool. Okay, end of that day, Portunus comes up to you with a very big smile and says, "They have not only accepted, but they're standing at the ready in the starport when we arrive. I've even convinced them to bring their own ammunitions."
Portunus, I'm like, no, I wouldn't say. I'm like, oh man, you well, if Godwin's with him, of course, right? Looking very smug.
Oh yeah, like he's standing like, yeah, you did that, but I was the one who had the ideas of like offshoring these things. Basically, he's trying to take credit with the whole thing of they have requested a highly independent squad in order to secure archaeotech technology level acquisitions.
Oh my god. Okay.
So
Wow,
they
with
literally
that.
sold a red popsicle to a lady with white gloves.
Yeah.
Okay. How would the captain react? I'm trying to figure out how, because I mean, he's going to say, and he'll. I want to roll a commerce real quick, just to see if I fully understand how annoying how hard is what they just did normally. Because I just got 5.1 degrees of success on figuring out the business aspect of this.
You rolled a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3. I mean, you. What do you know out of character? Like, what do you know? I can correct you from there. Like,
I mean, since he was on a Navy ship, he understands at times that, like, literally the Navy could be like, yo, Mechanicus, we need this kind of parts, and they can be like, yeah, well, we're building a ship, so no thanks.
yeah, so Skitari is the military branch of the entire thing. They're very protective of that, handing that over to anyone without, like, proper cause, or, like, not even proper cause, but, like, influential cause is a big thing. You're looking at this, and these guys have not only ridden the tidal wave of this Adeptus Titanicus, or the Titan division. They have literally used that as a ground base, and then they have just brought on the fact renowned warrant, rogue trader, highly classified, individuals on board, archaeotech, all of these things. What they have done is a minor miracle in creating a layer of truth that is so true that it can't be called a lie, followed by so many circles of fuckery where it's just like, we technically promised this, we didn't give you a specified time.
Oh my, yeah, so in 5,000 years, when, we've literally found 50 of those, we'll give you one.
Oh my god, it's the U.S. government.
I'm afraid that is exactly more or less what they've done, because they say you're here to reclaim them for the benefit of the Imperium under the watchful eye of the Titanicus division and yada yada yada, leaving out the part that one of the members is technically OX, who is in charge of all of that.
Oh my god. He just kind of like looks down and kind of like reads over it, and you see like they see his pupils get wide, and he's just like, good work, man. And he just has a look. I mean, it's not a lot to say, but they can clearly tell he's just like impressed by how fast they wrote this up, on top of how fast it got done. Like, he understands the Mechanicus is like, yeah, we'll send you that stuff. 200 years later, they show up. We got them same-day delivery. Did we just turn the Mechanicus into Amazon?
It's something along those lines. Effectively, Lord Regis leans in and says, if this is how good Bertulus is when he debates the tech priest, we need that to debate weekly.
And he'll just kind of chuckle and nod. Oh, man. As Fortunus is like, takes it back, now has the signature, walks away, just talking to himself. Yes, and if you dot the I's here, God, they're such idiots.
He's going over. Now I just need the signatures from, Archbishop and Abraham, so I can actually find them quarters to live in. Would a closet do?
For Skitari?
And I will say, I will leave that to you and him, as I have no idea.
Yes, Murdoch. Yes, Abraham. You have Fortunus coming up to you, asking for you to designate, quarters for soldiers of the Adeptus Mechanicus, because they fall under the Adeptus Militarum, correct? You get the impression as much of a bureaucrat he is, the whole military branch is flying over his head. He's smart, but he's also dumb.
Considering that my men, let's put it this way, I command those who are under the Imperium. However, I am more than certain OX11 would have a better kinship with them, and they would be more open to working with him in helping keep our ship in top shape.
Okay. Archmilitant Abraham, my real question here is, does OX have the authority to oversee military personnel under the direct jurisdiction of Matthias Atreidies, of the Atreidies rogue trader dynasty? Now that is the real question here. Will the paperwork align? He slides his glasses closer to his eyes. Not that he has eyes.
OX11 has my permission to oversee them.
And this is in writing.
Now you're dealing with the bureaucrat.
I'm about to eat my own fucking gun here. I'm like, is Fortunatus in the room?
No, he's the guy talking to you.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was some other fucking.
No.
I'm just like, okay, then I'm like, Fortunatus, I'm like, just write that down. Write that down.
Yes, sir. Dot, 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 dot. Well, here you go. Sign the dotted line, and OX will have oversight over all
He
mechanical.
will have oversight of the Mechanicum. If he wants to turn them over to me for combat operations, that is his prerogative.
All right.
What have I done?
You've got me involved in bureaucracy. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Archbishop Abraham. Much appreciated. And he runs off to the engine room where the closer he gets, the more openly he waves his badge that he's got permission to be in there.
Of course.
What have we done?
No.
Murdoch.
From last time, he remembers. Fortunatus will remember this.
On the plus side, Murdoch, at least OX thinks very, very highly of you. So this is actually very good.
Good, because I hope, because I think highly of you for getting us those sweet ass guns and gear.
I know, but the thing is, you always ask me for stuff, and I'm like, you always push him to do more, and he's like, I love this. This guy gets.
Because you're giving me the boot gear.
Yeah, exactly.
This arch-militant requires results.
He requires results. He likes these results.
Yeah, and like I said, you keep asking for things, and I'm like, yes, I will gladly do it. Give me purpose.
Yep. So you've got Fortunatus come in there. You do the whole signature. You're now in charge of 10 guitarists.
I just get an email. Bloop, bloop. Oh, I'm gonna put that on my wall. Yeah, I asked for the paperwork so I can put it in frame.
Yeah. It'll be printed, sent to you, stamped, everything. Sent with FedEx.
Yep, I put that in my living room.
You have a living room?
Damn.
I have a family.
I know. Oh no, I'm just making jokes. Living room is
Sounds
his
good.
broom closet.
What do you need a living room for?
He doesn't live in a broom closet. He lives under the stairs.
Exactly. I ain't no mudblood.
All right. So,
All right. So
team meeting.
team meeting. Yeah.
Dot. Everyone concern. All right.
Yeah. Did anyone want to take over there for the team meeting?
Matthias will clearly have a glass of alcohol. It's a short glass. With a bottle and extra glasses and ice just sitting in the middle of the table of the meeting room as he sits there. You can tell he's not drinking a lot, but it's there for a reason. He's just like... He's just kind of looking over reports as people come in. He'll actually be, he'll actually be typing stuff up when you guys come in. With a, let's see if he's let it get away from him. Yeah, he looks, his hair's a little frazzled when you guys come in. And he's like intently typing something, and there's an alarm going off. We're all gonna die, it's a bomb. It's in the command staff room.
Just keep talking and nobody explodes.
Right. And once everyone gets there, he'll kind of look over to Father Xerxes, and I mean, he would have tried to talk to you beforehand, saying like, hey, if you can divulge the way you want to in this matter to the rest of the staff, what you have found. And he'll offer everyone a drink. It's a purple liquid.
Is it Kool-Aid?
Nope.
No,
Definitely
kidding.
not.
It's
I'm
flavored.
kidding. Yeah. Out of character, I'm like, you call the meeting and then you tell me to speak. Throw me under
yes.
it.
Remember what I said when I said I sent the meeting for everyone? I said, with Father Xerxes speaking. Remember,
Okay.
we had that
All right.
conversation, and I'm like, we're going to need to bring this up.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Cheers for
True that.
everyone.
Okay, back in character. So just making sure everybody's in the room, right? Everybody's attentive.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
Tomalus. I didn't hear. Lackey Jags.
He's just gotten back from walking the dog.
Indeed.
Oh, got you. Rip.
Do we need to wait for Jack?
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay, awesome. No, I'm just making sure. Just okay. So, I have spoken with Lady Emyln personally, and these things that she has spoken raise much concern and require you to of your utmost attention. Please do not spread these words outside these walls, for they could create chaos amongst the ship.
I asked the servo skulls to leave the room.
Yep, everything shuts down.
Yep, like I said, I asked them to
Awesome.
specifically leave the room.
Yep, no, thank you. No outside transmissions. Nothing is written down that could be jeopardized.
You hear a click noise and a beep on OX 11, and he's like, an audible sigh. I don't have Wi-Fi right now. It's like being cut off from the Omnisat.
I sat down and spoke with Lady Emyln and asked her to tell me if she had any more information regarding the parable that she had stated. I believe the words that she told me are true, for she holds no reason not to tell the truth. She stated that she entered a confessional room and a man entered the other side and began to make confessions. During this time, she became paralyzed for unknown reasons, a feeling that she's never experienced before. She was also in a way transfixed by what he was saying. Not what he was saying precise exactly, but the way he was saying it. She said it was very smooth, and there was a natural way that he was speaking, and very how to say, and I would want to use the word enrapture. And this lasted through the entire time. But during his confession, he also stated that he was really concerned for one of the command staff, as he has lost his way in the faith, and that he really wanted to pray for them. It was really yes. After the meeting, the man left. Lady Emyln regained feeling in her body. She went out to try to track him down, could not find him. Went to all of the recordings and could not find a trace of this man.
That's concerning.
Questions?
Do we need to like go on a manhunt on this ship right now?
No.
In matters such as this, I'm not fully. I don't fully understand how the guard, the Hammer of the Emperor, would deal in such situations. Normally, I pray, since she said he approached her as a saint, but a wolf in sheep's clothing is concerning. I pray that it is truly, in the end, a misguided soul. That can be redeemed, and hopefully not something more nefarious, as he looks kind of grim as it's on his ship. We need to be wary and have all of our individuals prepared for anything at this moment. But the house has some individuals who have abilities to notice such strange happenings on the ship, and I am in talks with them at this moment. And right now they don't feel the need to approach them immediately. But I wanted to bring to your attention so that you are aware of it, as you are my right-hand individuals in such matters, and to just keep an eye on your people. I do not know who this... it has not been... Sorry, he would have said... Has not been fully narrowed down yet. But like I said, I'm working with assets I have as I brought their attention. And it was the God Emperor's divine happening that they would approach me almost the same time as Lady Emyln has. And so I do pray that this matter is resolved quickly, and that his glory is seen in it over everything else. And basically, kind of with that, and basically with that, you guys kind of get the... Oh, Discord gave me the heads up that I'm lagging a little bit. Are there any questions you have at this time? And he'll look around the room and take a nice long drink of his alcohol as he receives a message on his data slip. Lord Militant seem somewhat... how does your character look right now, Murdoch?
He'd just be kind of like observing, not really... I wouldn't say he's reacting. He's just kind of like taking it in and just discussing. Or not discussing, just
is he drinking? That's the real question.
No, he's not drinking. That's how serious he's taking this.
Gotcha. You may have noted that I have pre-assigned a couple of your men to some high-ranking individuals, as I have upped the protection detail, so...
Yep, I was aware. This is fine.
Gotcha. He'll nod.
I believe you assigned 2, correct?
Thus far, yes. I may do more. Make it 5? You want to reinforce?
5. We take no chances.
I will take your expertise, and trust it in that matter. I did not want to draw from the training staff as we are getting everyone else up to speed that we've recently acquired.
The men will be trained. A few more bodies, 3 bodies more is nothing too major. We can spare the men for security. With that, if nothing else, I'm gonna go to the barracks and just check on my guys if there's nothing else.
Sure thing.
Give me 1 second here. With that, he will turn to Thalmius. Master Thalmius, since it's just you guys, he's like, have we heard anything from the ears on the decks?
Thalmius.
Oh, sorry, what?
He would have asked you, any word from some of the staff on the decks? Nothing unusual reported as of yet?
No, nothing.
Hopefully a good omen.
Let us hope.
And with that, he'll be like, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day as it was impromptu. Thank you, Father Xerxes. And the God Emperor be praised. And with that, and he'll release everyone to continue their daily stuff. Unless anyone has questions and they start to ask it before we all leave. It's the thing, everyone. The thing is on board.
Something like that, yeah. Anyway,
Space everyone.
Due to scheduling, I'm gonna have to ask, did I get a quick talk to you, Jackie, and the librarian?
Only if it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm afraid it is.
Wait, what's going on?
He said with scheduling. I wonder if he might have meant
Quick thing as well, Matthias. I think I'm actually going to be needing you for this as well. So if you can join me
Roger.
there.
Yep, I will move right now. Oh boy, here we go. Hi everyone. Wait, hold on. I want to make it funny.
We're all gonna die.
Well, rip. I gotta roll a new character, guys. I'll see you later. All right, I left them utterly suspenseful.
All right.
Do you want me to pause the recording at the moment?
No. This
Okay.
is a part of the entire thing. So after this meeting, you of course separate out. Then you, Thalmius, you go, you meet, and you enter into a room where you find Lady Sachi as well as Rogue Trader Matthias being in there from the assigned meeting. From the positioning, it looks like Matthias has been placed further away from the conversation, with yourself and Lady Sachi taking up a more center role of this. So for you, Thalmius, you're making out that effectively you're entering into a room where Matthias is there to observe and he's not really meant to be commenting. It's pretty obvious because you've done these sort of power plays before.
Indeed.
Exactly. Lady Sachi motions for you to have a seat. Of course, recaf has been provided. You do not see that there's a hint of alcohol anywhere in this room, unless Matthias has a little glass of something.
A snifter, and no. After that, he would he would be very forthwith as Master Thalmius has already seen him drinking.
Mm-hmm. Lord Seneschal Thalmius, please have a seat. Lady Sachi would say, remaining calm in your presence.
I would take a seat. Yes, my lady?
Master Thalmius, during the War of Lucia, an incident took place. An incident which I'm afraid has involved yourself.
Yes, believe I know what you speak of.
Right. So you are an awakened, but are you also a sanctioned individual?
One thing, could I say, Saxius? I don't mean to interrupt. I'm out of
Sure.
character. Once I saw that he would have entered the room, I would have sent a pre-designated message to
Yep.
command staff in the area to cease any and all recordings inside of the room.
Oh, yeah. This is all fine.
Gotcha. All right. I'm just, now that there's no one else hearing, I'm like, yeah, because it's his call what he wants to do.
Yep, that's fine. So Lady Sachi is looking at you, but of course, her veil being over her head, and the fact that she doesn't actually have eyes. It seems like she's taking an interest for what you're about to answer to her, whether you are a sanctioned individual or not.
I have not been properly sanctioned, no.
I see. She will then lean back and say, What form of training have you been undergoing? I'm assuming you are aware of the risks of what your abilities can bring.
Indeed, I am.
Good. We, and when I say we, Navigator, Cadmus, and myself, believe the incident over Lucia caused a ripple within the materium, indeed the very warp. And that was why the ghost ship was seen nearby. We might have attracted it. And we're starting to fear that this ghost ship brought a passenger over to us. Now, we have yet to confirm whether there was a brief flicker in the Gellerfields. It wouldn't be unheard of. The Gellerfields does have weaknesses. And if an entity, though weak, or perhaps strong enough to muscle its way in, would not find itself in its true power while we are in real space. It could be I'm operating on my limited knowledge of this forbidden and very, very unsanctioned knowledge. I believe this entity will only become present during our time in the warp, as it must have anchored itself to this ship somehow.
Might I myself make my forbidden lore test?
Yes, you definitely may.
I think /roll GM. That way, it only rolls to the GM.
Yep.
If you want. I mean, if you want to make
sounds-
even more ominous, let everyone else see the roll and be like, "What are they rolling for?"
And that roll would be right at what I
Right,
testing
okay.
against 50.
Okay, that's not past then. From your training that this is definitely possible. It is in the realm of possibilities, and this would then mean that there would be a possibility for you to then find it when you are in the warp. You could then look for the item or the person it has latched onto.
Okay.
Lady Sachi proceeds with, Now, Master Thalmius, under normal circumstances, the rogue trader would have to report you, and you would have to be sent to the black ships. Don't see this being a feasible outcome, as the damage done to the house would be greater than what would be potentially gained. I am willing to, for lack of a better word, turn my blind eye to this. But we must set a parameter for, in the event, should your gift and your abilities go unfeathered, you will have to accept the fact that your life may come to a very abrupt end, and maybe not at your own hands. It may be we would have to assign a specialist to oversee you.
I am well aware of the dangers that I pose, and perhaps if I had better judgment, I would have submitted myself to the black ships a while ago. However, I am one with a purpose in mind. I am following my own path.
I see. Well, Master Thalmius, I will have to be very blunt here. You cannot follow your own path at the moment. You are on board this very ship, and as far as everyone on board this ship is concerned, Lord Matthias's word is next to the God Emperor's himself. I will leave this between yourself and Lord Matthias to find out the finer details. However, it is in my professional view that at the very least a contingency is implemented, whether through a physical mean or a more subtle method. And from the way she is saying this, you get the implication that she means potential either bomb column or alternative methods. If you truly are aware of the risk that you pose, you would also understand the precautions that would need to be taken.
I do, and if the Lord Captain sees it necessary to implement such measures, gladly takes them. However, I also have some of my own training.
And if you want to say anything to me, like if you like would look at my character at any point in time to like have him chime in, go just let me know, because I can't tell from words, and I would definitely not interrupt this conversation.
I would have looked at you at that point.
Say the phrase one more time so that it's 100% in my brain.
If the Lord Captain feels those measures are needed. And at that point, I would have looked at you and then continued.
And you'll see him kind of just ponder. He'll just kind of stay inquisitive about that, because he's, yeah. Yeah?
Well, Lady Sachi will nod and go, very well. Lord Rogue Traders, he says, turning to you now. As you now understand, Lord Thalmius is an unsanctioned psycho. I am of the understanding, after my investigation of Lucia, that in the failed attempt for whatever power he was trying to manifest, he sent out a very large beacon for the warp entities. And I believe that these have now taken a direct interest to our ship and its crew. I have nothing to prove of this aside from my psychic abilities, which are backed by Navigator Cadmus. But it is with this information I will have to leave you to make a decision as for how you wish to proceed. The Imperium is very clear in how it perceives psychos, especially those who are unwarranted and unsanctioned. I do not know how far your warrant extends, but I have a personal doubt if I may And while I may understand that you are a man of high stature and position in comparison to myself, I would like to be very blunt with you. Should the Imperium take an interest in this, should certain members of the Imperium and its specific schools take an interest in this, your warrant, your seal, indeed your very name, will be able to hold them off for a bit. But the individuals which could come in such a time have patience, and worse yet, they have a trait known as stubbornness. As of such, I will advise caution for what is about to happen in this future. The knowledge is known, it cannot be unlearned. I'm afraid this is now a burden and a decision you will have to make. And Master Thalmius' life is now very literally in your hands. That is all, gentlemen. If anyone has any other questions, you may speak now, while this room is quarantined and off limits. Otherwise, you both know where my chambers are. And she looks to you, Thalmius. My quarters are prepared for any psychic events, so neither of us should be able to muster any problems if we are to discuss any form of training, that is.
That is a most gracious offer, and I might take you up.
She nods. And with that, she's going to stand up and leave, unless there is anyone else that's got anything to say.
Matthias will look a little bit unnerved. At a negative 1.4, even with a bonus. Especially at the he started looking unnerved at the unsanctioned part. But I think with a negative 1.4, I would still not lose my shit.
No,
right?
you're not losing your shit. It's like the facial expression of like, that part was like,
that's not good.
Yes.
I was hoping that was not the case in these matters.
Mm-hmm.
He would ask Lady Saji before she leaves. This training, can it be, and he'll look kind of, not annoyed, but he'll look kind of flustered having to ask this. Is there a way to submit it legally recognizable to take the place of what normally in these circumstances is absolute and required? As he really doesn't know, he doesn't know a lot about psychers. I mean, all I know is astropaths exist because I was on ships. And navigators exist.
A dark sort of cloud moves over her face as she listens to you, and then shakes her head morbidly. My lord, no amount of paperwork, not even Portuna's, Iota, or even yourself, will be able to convince any bureaucrat of this. To be sanctioned, you must stand before the God Emperor himself. His power must flow through you. If you die, your soul become one with the God Emperor and you serve a higher purpose. Should you, like me, have your eyes melt, if you should feel the very nerves within your skull set afire, bathed in acid, and then struck with lightning, your sight ripped from you and replaced with Oh, it is difficult to put words to what I truly perceive. Then you become a sanctioned astropath. There is only one way of sanctioning, and that is a holy trip to Terra. And if you do not arrive on a black ship, and you try to enter into the Grand Palace, you can understand how defensive people may be for such an intrusion to his holy grounds.
Matthias is nodding at this point.
I am sorry, Captain, but this is the one time where your power will not be enough. This is his call, and we cannot change that.
That is understood. I will weigh this matter.
Unless there's anything from the two of you, I'm going to go and keep the other two busy. If you two need to talk or anything, feel free to do so here.
I gotcha.
All right. I've always been of strong nature. I've done my work as needed. I used to just, ensure that fuel was provided for the larger engines, and my strength just seemed to catch the interest. And now here I am overseeing our lower sites, although they're quite important to ensure that cargo is moved around, specifically our food from one sector to the other. It's easy work for me.
Okay. Real quick, please refresh me. Why are we? Sorry, I must have totally blanked. But why are we talking with her?
So, during Lady Emyln and Abraham's soldiers, they're all out. Like basically, everyone's on guard now, and they've just come across her, and it's like she's got abnormal human strength.
Okay.
Carry this
so
around.
She's on the ship.
She's on the ship. She's a part of the crew.
Oh,
and
okay.
She's one of the many tens of thousands of people that's on board, and it's just like now that recent events have taken place, they've started asking different questions, and it's just like, oh yeah, like we've got Annabelle over there who just carries these things around for us, but like she's always been a sweetheart. But it's just the whole thing, like she carries around an entire crate filled with food without breaking a sweat, and she will just do it like basically like almost jogging backwards and forwards without getting tired.
Yeah.
Is this brought to the captain's attention?
I'd assume so, considering you should know about this. I thought you were informed.
Well,
hold on. Are you saying that out of character?
Yes, I am saying it out of character. Yes, I assumed you'd already been informed about this. I thought you knew about this.
100,000 people on the ship is a kind of lot to know everyone's first name.
I meant more of just what we're doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
I thought you might have been filled in. We're interrogating the weird person. We're interrogating the not normal.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna gesture to Brian and kind of like walk back a few steps, and ask to just kind of bring my voice down to a whisper. Something's not right. No one this small should be able to do what she's doing. It defies common sense and common logic.
That's racist.
Shut your mouth. Shut your face. What does our in your faith, with your beliefs in the Emperor, is there anything that you know that might lend itself to this, lend knowledge to this, and shed light on this situation? Brian?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Give me a minute. And I'm speaking to you directly. and very quiet where nobody else could hear. I go, the mere fact of she lifting heavy things is not necessarily a concern. Why she does not have a memory is a bigger concern.
I agree. At the same time, for someone of her build to have such strength and to also not know where they are or what's going on or know who she is, something doesn't add up. I think we should take her to the Medicaid deck and have her scanned and examined. Something maybe there's an issue with her brain. We can figure out if maybe she has a previous traumatic brain injury or some other ailment that can shed light on what's going on.
Saxes, due to the fact that I do have Medicaid, am I going to have any or available equipment that I could do a scan on her?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also use the ship's Medicaid bay, so you'll get a plus 10 for that. If you want, do you want to ask Dr. Faust to get involved?
No. I'm going to whisper again to the Arcus. Remember, we are trying not to rile suspicion, nor we're not trying to create chaos on our ship.
Trigger word.
Yeah, okay, good. Someone else thought it.
We must take this with due diligence and with utmost respect to keep it, quote unquote, low key.
Okay.
I agree. And with everything going on, though, we need to get this done quickly. I do not want this threat on board this ship.
Understood. Nor do I.
With that, really quick, I'm gonna get my data slate off my back, send a message, and just be like, "Hey, I want 3 of my Elysians to like just get on casual like deck surf gear."
Yep.
And like hide a hell pistol on them, and then regroup on us.
Okay.
So I'm going to approach the lady and say, "Sweet child, would you accompany me to the Medicaid? Because your memory has me concerned. I would like to do a full scan to make sure that there's been no injury to you."
Yeah. She says, not objecting to anything so far.
Okay. I will be accompanied. I do not want to be alone, but I don't.
How about this? And I'm just gonna whisper to Ryan. How about we escort her, and the people I've sent for will they will, for lack of a better word, lurk in our nearby vicinity.
That's fine. Yes. So we go and do that.
Yeah. All right. Then we'll escort her to the med bay.
Yep. So you take it to the medic bay.
Okay.
You're granted access there, no problem. You're high officers. You even have access to the back rooms or the back area. Just gonna move you over there. Whoops, that's not the ship you're supposed to be on. Quick, change. Quickly gonna grab your characters here.
Concern.
Yeah, that was a wrong one. No worries there. So he's up there. He's out here. And I'll get her token, quickly made and thrown in.
Okay. There is Tom Tokington. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stand right there.
Sounds good. Now it's just going to be a very big token because I'm just throwing it in, so it'll be ridiculously sized at the moment, but it'll quickly be scaled down. Don't worry. It's not 1-for-1. Don't worry. It's just it's a temporary glitch in the matrix. We'll get through this, people.
There we go.
Oh no! There you go.
There you go. Yep. So she's in there. You can do your medic check. You've got full access for all
Okay.
of this, so we'll go through everything.
Before we continue, I would like to just tell her, with what we're going to do, it's going to be a while, so we'd like to give you a sedative. That way, at least for you, these tests will not be exhausting, and
I mean,
it'll be much quicker for you.
Yeah, of course. Whatever you think needs to be done, my lords. She's not objecting to any of this.
Cool. Brian, go ahead and administer a sedative. That'll knock her out.
Yeah, which I do. Oh,
Cool.
Okay. Okay. And so do I need to roll anything for commencing any biometric scanning or?
Yeah, so it's a biometric scanning. So you get a +10 from that to your medicine. Go on.
Yeah. What am I roll?
Medicate.
So is it okay?
Yeah, it's just Medicaid because you're basically like operating all of the things. You're operating the things, and then you're reading the information that's coming out from it. So she's being put into a, sleep-induced thing, and then we'll take it from there. Super. Right. So the first thing that stands out is that as you're seeing this injections taking place, it actually measures how much pressure has to be applied, and you can see that it's practically 3 times as much pressure that would need to be applied through a human skin. So you're looking at a tougher outer layer through the scans. You're finding that her muscle density is higher than that of a human. Like, you're finding that the muscles themselves, even though they are, not exactly big like you would expect from an orc, you find that they're like really coiled and like very like I'm not much of a biologist.
They're just more dense.
The muscle sinew is more dense.
Exactly. So like these are definitely used for like when they're being used, like they're just like poof. There's a lot of power to them, and you find this like basically up and down. Her metabolism is just off the charts. Her gaining weight is something that's very difficult, but at the very same time, like she gets hungrier more. So you suspect that she would probably have to have a higher food intake. There's a level of radiation that you're finding throughout her body as well. That looks to be primarily centered around her lungs. And you can see it sort of like also going down towards where her kidneys and where her kidneys would be.
Okay.
Is there a way for us to discern what kind of radiation this is?
Yes. It will take you a little bit of time to run this, but she's sedated, so I'll just do a little bit of time skipping. But basically, you're finding that it is in correlation to the kind of radiation that would be found from the warp engines.
Look, I'm not going to say it, but we're all thinking it.
Is my character involved yet?
I'm not going to say it, but I know what we're all thinking.
No, okay, hold on. Just calm down. I'm going to, once I start these findings, does she have, is all her organs and her brain show human? There's no xeno influence, or...
It's give me another roll here. You can add another
Okay.
+10, so +30 in total.
Okay, plus
as you
30. Okay.
Yep. You can prolong her sleep as you're doing this scan to be more like specific now.
Oh my god!
While Brian's working, I have a question. Do I notice if there's any distortions or any like abnormalities with the machines nearby?
Roll me an awareness check.
Sure.
And because you asked that question, add another +10.
God, I'm not rolling hot tonight. But
You're not
Not
rolling
yet.
hot.
Not yet. Not yet.
They are. How would you put it? There is some kind of like thing going on here, but it's like it's usual sort of like it'll flicker for a bit, but then it's back on.
Now, when you
Doesn't
say when you say flicker, is it like kind of like old TVs, how you kind of have the picture would go out like for a certain line in the TV?
Yeah, but this is also this is an archaeotech medicine.
Right. No, I'm getting an idea of what the flicker is doing. That's why I'm curious.
This is the Imperium, so you are looking at these things and sort of going like, okay, like these are flickering. It's probably
flickering in a non-normal way, I should say. Is it doing that?
non-normal way. It is kind of normal for these things, but I mean, if you want to be suspicious about it, I can't stop you. I'm just saying that they do have that like line, like you said, the old TV like going down, but this isn't new for Imperial tech. It's just happening at a maybe higher frequency than what you would see elsewhere.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, Brian. Continue, please.
Yeah. So what do I find out?
All right. So you're going through. So brain, fine. The lungs they are again. Everything in terms of the body is like it's again human structure. There's nothing that's changed there. Everything's lining up neatly. You're finding that this level of radiation seems to have sort of like gone
Jackie
in,
Lake said LOL.
and basically it is because the lungs are again quite close to the heart. You think that they've actually seeped over and affected her heart as well. So you find that her heart, when it like beats, it beats as though like she's at peak health, but each like beat is like really sort of like bam, bam, like it's really pumping out blood very, very hard. And you can see that her breath, even though you're going again at that normal perceived breathing space, you can see that the volume intake is actually quite astounding. Like it's quickly sort of in, and then she's quickly pushing out a large amount without it being looking or sounding like she's breathing in more than what a normal human would be. In terms of like lung capacity, it would be like if a normal human is like at 1, she would be at 1.27 in terms of her air intake.
Mm-hmm.
And her heart would be like almost 30% larger than what a normal human would be. And then on top of that, you can then see her kidneys, and the general metabolism is just, again, there's just iron. You don't think that she would be getting drunk or getting, attaining any fat anytime soon.
What's her core temperature?
Her core temperature is a little
Very
bit
strange
higher.
question.
It's higher than what you would expect from a human.
Okay. No, that lines up
raised
with
metabolism.
That lines up with raised metabolism. That's why I'm like wondering if it's lower. It's not right.
Concern.
I'm looking for abnormalities here.
Well, you're
Okay,
finding
so-
abnormalities. Her core temperature is definitely like above from what you would find.
Mm-hmm.
So at the touch, yes, you can feel that she is warm. It looks like she's almost having a small fever, but the way she's been acting, like her attentiveness is too focused for it to be a fever that has set in.
I'm going to focus. Where does her scars on her face seem to come from? Is there anything that the scanners can pick up?
With the 7 degrees of success, you look at this and go like, this isn't something done with a physical cause. So
Jackie
you
Lake
think
said
this could have
LOL.
been something that could have been inflicted to it via some form of like electrical current or something else that would have caused it? Because this, even though the scar, as you can see here on the picture, it looks very much like, okay, like it's been cut in, but it looks more like the scar is almost underneath her skin. It's as though like the cells underneath have had to regenerate and then overturn itself.
Do I? And now this is in a medical procedure. Do I find anything else like that, or any other scars, even?
Sort of.
Anything else
Her,
on the body?
yeah. So again, the scannings does sort of come across, and you see similar things having been found around her womb. Effectively, her womb is so badly damaged that she can't have children anymore. If by the looks of it, she can't even like go on the period anymore. Something has definitely happened down there for that to have taken place.
Concern. The more you say, the more concerned I get.
How much concern do you need to have before you notify the captain?
This is all happening within a couple of minutes, so
Yeah,
give me
this
a break.
is happening in a short
Nope,
period of
no
time.
breaks. Both of you are going to be spaced once I find out. Spaced.
I want Brian.
No, give me a minute.
Okay.
With this information, going to go to direct comms to the captain and state, Captain Matthias, your presence is, as I most respectfully can say, required in the medbay.
Would I have received this yet, Saxius? That's the real question. Or am I still in a small meeting?
That meeting was over rather quickly.
Understood.
So I think at this stage, this would have run simultaneously. So yeah, you would have been getting out, probably been moving back towards the command bridge when you're getting this call.
Understood. I will be there shortly. As he sounds sounds a little bit let's say less quick-witted than normal, like something's on his mind. Yee. And he has that
Thank
way.
you, sir. Anything else comes up on the scanner that is to be noted?
Trying to think here. 7 degrees. Okay, I'm just gonna roll to see whether something becomes apparent. Minus 20. Alright, yeah, it becomes apparent.
What becomes
I mean,
apparent?
you know where you gave her that incision for, or like the insert for the drug?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that has healed up quite quickly.
Now, when you say it healed up, has it left like a scar? Has it left
Ve-
anything?
It's left a scar. It's left a small scar, but it's like normally you would have to, you get the injection, you pull out the needle, you put something over it to stop the bleeding, and then it's left there for a while. That doesn't just heal up immediately because you usually put it into a vein.
Yeah.
This has healed up, in the span that you've been doing this, and it's left like a small scarf where that insertion has been.
Do we have anything on board that can do a more extensive brain scan?
Yes and no. Do you mean machine or do you mean person?
I think that is the better question to ask now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know what David was meaning, because if we have a machine, I could use it right then and there. If we don't, but if we do, if we don't, then we can get somebody else involved.
Shit. Did not mean for him to jump ahead.
Yeah, don't you dare touch. I'm just kidding.
The bird follows his master.
I am your master.
Or
I am
is-
his friend.
Or
Got
is
him.
Mr. Pokington the master and Matthias the
Oh no,
servant?
no. We homies. We homies. Equals, you might say.
Let's see here. Oh boy.
When I get the chance, Matthias will kind of. Is there like a window? Sorry, I didn't mean to actually move the character. Is there like a window somewhere here that you can kind of
No,
look through?
this is meant to be like quarantined area, like where you do
Mm-hmm.
really specific things. So you aren't really meant to see.
We've
You
actually
can't really see.
right?
Yeah, you're outside of the
Okay.
warp.
I'm gonna before I do all that, I'm gonna go over and see this guardsman over here and see how he's doing.
Sir, I'm not too bad now. He's basically going through physiotherapy, having lost a foot from the battle at Lucia, due to various things. But he's basically getting adjusted to having that. But he's doing well. His healing has been doing marvelous. It looks like he's been taken good care of. Spirit is high. Morphine is even higher. So everything's
Everything's great right now.
yeah, well, can't complain.
People on morphine drips are the funniest. Does he have a prosthetic yet, or not really?
Yeah, he does.
Can I
He's
make a
done-
roll on it? How it looks quality wise?
Sure.
Is that perception or intelligence?
That will be whichever one you want to use, really.
I'll choose intelligence just because I think Matthias would have seen some high end and then of course some low ends versus.
Yep, makes sense.
All right, let's see. Ugh, really? Oh, forgot.
I'll give you a pass of success for this.
All right.
I mean, you have not skimped on quality for your men. That much I think we can definitely agree on. So you're looking at the very least like a common bordering good quality here. Like he's got his toes, he's got all of that, he's got like the usual sort of like nerve integration, so he won't have the whole like what's it called, ghost feeling, so he could look away as he scratches it and it will then give him the sensation of it's being scratched. Because that's one of those things that amputees often have, the ghost itch or whatever it's really called in English.
Ghost limb syndrome, yeah.
Exactly.
Phantom limb.
So as long as they look away and like trigger something, it will give them the sensation that the entire thing is being itched.
Yeah, the
So-
satisfaction that at
Exactly.
least their body recognizes that something's there and making contact.
Exactly.
He says, it's good to see that you're in high spirits, and I'm glad Dr. Faust and his staff are keeping you under good care. You risked much for the house, and we are grateful. The Empire is grateful.
He gives a thumbs up. Yes, sir. Always ready to serve.
And he'll say, continue recovering. He's like, we have, what's the guy's rank?
So
If
he
you
would
can
be,
pull it off the top of your head.
yeah, off the top of his head, he's like a, what's it called? He's not a private. He's like the one above that.
Oh, like private first class?
Private first class. That's the one.
Gotcha. Say, we need you, make sure to keep recovering. We'll need you to, whip those newbies we got into shape coming on board.
Aye, aye, Captain.
He's like, good man. And then he'll turn and, he'll shake his hand if he feels like shaking, if the guy's just kind of
absolutely.
like...
Oh, he's high spirited. He's like, yeah, man. No, I get to shake the rogue trader's hand. Man, my God, this is amazing.
Exactly, and then he'll...
I should get shot more often.
I should
While,
get shot more
While
often.
Matthias is doing that, I'm gonna tell Brian, continue your work here, but if you could for now say a quick prayer to the God Emperor for her health. I'm gonna go inform our rogue trader of what's going on. Your work's important. I would like you to continue it and see if you can figure anything out while I'm gone.
Before he leaves, do we have? I mean, since the question never got answered, do we have equipment to do a more active brain scan?
You do. This is not technology that you can easily sort of like discern. It basically requires a setup and a brief like tutorial for you to get into.
Okay, so at that point,
I mean, okay, so here's my real question.
Dr. Faust's ears are burning.
How much have you increased your Medicaid? Like, are you a +10 or +20? Because I need to know that difference.
Oh, gotcha. You know what? I've not increased that, so
Then no,
I thought I did, but okay.
I have a Medicaid +1 if we need to use it.
That's not enough. You need +20 to use this one without supervision.
Okay. That's fine. It's not a make or break anything.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said Dr. Faust's ears are burning.
He's not command staff.
I know, I'm just messing with you. He's like, you require my assistance.
What you mean? I can do some scans here.
That man does scans the scalpel. I don't want him near the patient yet.
Oh no, I don't
know
about him.
As you leave the Arcus, inform the captain that we will need someone with cerebral powers.
Understood.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna brief Matthias, yada yada yada. Person who seems to be potentially modified or otherwise, yada yada yada. Warp radiation, because apparently she worked near the engines. Yada yada yada. Machines being weird near her. Healed very quickly. We need someone with cerebral technology, or failing that, we need perhaps a psyker, one of the navigators, to look into her mind, and perhaps open up neural pathways that have been closed off. Something about her is either inhuman, or she does not seem to be who she appears to be, and it concerns me greatly.
And you definitely see him like chilling with Tehome. Yes, and for anyone who didn't know, the reason I did that was because you had like 4 Elysians in the room, excluding yourself.
Right.
And all of them saw me being cool to the Elysian. Yee.
Oh yeah.
That's right,
So
propaganda.
So how do we want to handle this?
Quick question though, for Cersei's. You said you wanted someone like really strong to be in there to be ready to restrain her? Did I get that right? Or cerebral as in like brain capabilities?
Brain capabilities, yes.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood.
Oh, no worries. She has no signs. Yes, if she had signs of coming out of being sedated, the table she's on should have restraints, correct?
Yeah, it does. I just need to check, if I right. But
okay.
Yeah, cool. Continue. Continue, Abram and Matthias.
Okay. What do we want to do? How do we want to scan her mind? Or how can we, I should say? You know the ship's facilities better than I do.
Well, and he'll say, and he'll say, we do have some options, and he'll kind of gesture back to Dr. Faust, but not say his name out loud, because he knows he'll frickin' hear him.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Faust seeing you, he's sitting doing his paperwork, but then he's also looking up very often, as though he's like, "Yes, oh, Hello, hey guys, I'm
If
here.
I'm gonna like look at him with, I'm gonna like gesture to him with my eyes. Only if we can have him restrain his more unruly tendencies, to put it mildly. I need.
Sorry, say that one more time. I was reading something.
I said only if he can keep in check his more curious tendencies. I simply want professionalism, discreetness, and above all, I need him not to freak out.
With this, he'll. Oh, god damn it! I meant to grab the whole gang. Jeez. With that, he'll kind of come over here, and I'm trying to grab your stupid character. He's like, speak plainly, man. He's like, because he doesn't quite understand what you guys have found. You said like she has unnatural abilities. What do you mean by this?
She is far stronger than baseline human. She heals faster than baseline human. She does not seem to remember where she does not remember key details of her past. And as we said, there is an issue with warp radiation in her lungs. We believe it could have affected her heart, which has also been pumping blood much harder and giving her body more nutrients, leading me to believe that she is not a baseline human and that there is something going on that is.
But she looks
extremely suspicious.
Normal.
Looks are deceiving.
I didn't ask if looks were deceiving, Lord Militant.
There is, make no mistake, there is nothing normal about her under the surface. This is not a baseline human. We need to figure out what we're doing.
I will be frank. I have spent a good amount of time in the Navy. I have seen mutations, some sanctified and some condemned. The question here that I've heard such far is that we have found nothing blatantly heretical, and therefore it would seem a mutation now. And he doesn't say this loudly, that he definitely knows. Probably all the servitors are keyed in to Dr. Faust's ear. But he says, in the end, what we need to surmise is if this is a stable mutation, because should it be, then the Emperor be praised. We have another cog in the machine of House Atreides. Because then it can be codified, logged, and submitted to the Imperium for official designation.
I agree. At the same time, I want to see if we can help restore memories. But I also want to know if she's
restore her memories. Now, you did not tell me she didn't have memory loss.
I thought I said she had amnesia. My bad.
That is interesting. I will.
In addition to, again, as I mentioned, with warp radiation in her lungs and parts of her body, it leads one to be very suspicious. Or warp radiation, not warp energy. Key distinction. She claims it's from working near the engines, but in that case, her whole body should be more.
Saksha said thumbs up, light skin tone.
Just being focused. That is what my limited investigation so far has led me to believe. What we are dealing with is abnormal, and we need to figure out what's going on.
Understood, especially with the, kind of, oh my god, please stop selecting and doing the ping. Especially with the matters at hand. Thank you. You're a saint.
Okay. If we bring Dr. Faust in on this, I simply want his professionalism and I want his discreetness with this matter. He will not leave this med bay and he will be a part of this investigation until it's concluded. Is that all right with you?
Dr. Faust, thus far, though inquisitive as a... And I'm just moving my character because he's starting to walk towards the door. Though an inquisitive man, I would expect nonetheless from a man of science. In the end, he wishes to attain more knowledge, which is the holy pursuit that all of the servants of the Omnissiah, of course, adhere to. And same for those in the medical field for the most of the time. And he's like, since I was summoned by Father Xerxes, I take it he's in there with her now.
He is. I asked him to continue seeing if there were any other findings that he might happen upon while I was read. I asked him to see if there was anything else abnormal he might find while I briefed you on the situation.
Lol.
God, Jack, that's fucking glorious.
It is.
It's gonna be even
Red
worse if it turns out to be
herring.
true.
Right.
I'm getting
Alright,
all paranoid and shit over nothing.
Accurate. He goes, I would like to get Dr. Faust involved, as this is his facility, and he is the professional here. And may have insight into such matters. I have notified Mr. Thalmius, who has informed me in his past he has seen a strange amount of mutations aboard different ships. So he should be joining us shortly. And he will then look at one of the servitors that was like right next to us that's probably still staring, and he'll nod and gesture, come on, as he then turns towards Dr. Faust.
Okay. Does Faust have mind scanning equipment with him?
He has it within the medical bay. So he'll
strangely enough, it's in his hands.
Yeah, alright. Then let's
he'll wheel it in.
Alright, let's get it going.
Alright. Super. Right. So he basically brings in get out this thing here. This device.
In the background, I would have, as we start bringing in just a tirade of people, as Father Xerxes is just chilling, doing his thing.
I'm still working.
Okay, you are still just doing your thing, or are you just chilling?
Well, if I notice that you walk in the room, I'm going to hand you everything of our findings so far so you can see for yourself.
Gotcha. Alright. Well, he would at least have the door open to let Dr. Faust come in and assist you and whatnot, and as you hand it, he understands the room can get rather crowded. And he will send for Thalmius and have the servo skull make sure to go take a picture of that guardsman who's wounded with the thumb. I would have made sure that took a picture of the thumbs up moment and shaking the hand of the rogue trader. That way the propaganda films will be amazing.
Why do I make these NPCs?
You know the propaganda is going to be great.
Yes.
Our boys, though battered by the heretics, left from wherever the heck God, the planet's name always slips my mind. Lucia, they're in high spirits as they know that they've taken the enemy to task. The rogue trader the House Lord has paid a visit to the brave individuals. High spirits all around. Another victory for House Atreidies.
These 1940s, not commercials, but like propaganda movies are going to be running throughout, updated every so often. Spirit is high.
Mm-hmm. 1940s peak propaganda performance.
I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to know.
All right.
Turns out to be a normal person.
So, Thalmius, I take that you're going to be going over to this med bay as well?
Indeed.
Super.
Wow, we're having a full-on party up in
Oh
here.
my god! I know you guys are like, oh my god! It's gonna be funny if it's like, not. She's abhuman. She's fine.
But what if she's not?
If she's not, then it'll be
we
fun.
don't know that she's not until she's not.
Okay.
Explodes as she's. I said I stayed out of the room.
Oh, you said you stayed out of the room, right?
I'm not a fool.
I'm gonna,
Okay.
Too many command staff in one setting.
I'm gonna go to the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some meat shields.
Sounds good. Do you have any soldiers in there?
No. They're just gonna be outside the quarantine
Yeah.
room.
Super. And Thalmius, do you want to run any scans or any checks at your side?
Sure.
Alrighty. I'm afraid that from your review of things, you're not really picking up on overly much in regards to this. You're getting the rundown from Cersei's and all the medical things that are just dumbing it down for you. And you're pretty much up to speed now. But your investigations doesn't really find anything, so to speak. Dr. Faust reviews the brain with his thing and effectively finds that there appears to have been like an energy bolt that's hit her in the head, where the scar is located, and it is basically gone and it's severed the more immediate short-term events, and it's damaged like her memory going a little bit further back. So like she can remember working, she can remember her general purpose, she can remember things like attending church, she can recite, the litanies that she needs to, things that she's been doing for a very long time. She can do that fine. But the one thing that seems to have like managed to like penetrate all the way through is like her name. There seems to have been something that's hit there, and her general sort of like memory of self, so to speak. She's got her personality has been damaged in a sense. Like parts of her previous personality seems to have been hit with whatever has caused this. Though he is strangely enough picking up that the nerve systems of her otherwise blind eyes working, they're just not receiving anything. So that he's suspecting that the lens has been broken. So while technically you could take out her eye and replace it with a bionic implant to allow it to continue, he's getting a bit fascinated by this, and he's taking various blood samples, tissue samples, and whatnot that he'll run his own reports on the side. And he says he'll have some answers within the next few days, as he's going to do a deep dive into this person's physiology.
Okay.
In terms of her mental state, nothing would suggest that there is anything to be concerned of. The chemical balance is slightly off, but it's not in the tipping scale where he would classify her as a psychopath. It's more in the sense of like registering. How would you put it? More like in this sort of semi-autistic spectrum, so to speak. She has a hard time dealing with like sarcasm, interpersonal things. Like she's very sort of like, oh, right, taking things, by the surface level sort of deal.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
I'm going to ask Dr. Faust, do we have any way that we would be able to track her movements without her knowing? Any sort of implant that we can put in without her knowing?
He smiles. Why, yes, my dear priest. We have various selections of tracking devices.
I'm going to ask the captain if we shall proceed with that, so we can see if she goes anywhere where she's not supposed to. Keep an extra eye on her, because we can't keep her in the med bay for 3 days.
If I may make a suggestion, if we're going to stick a tracker in her, stick it under the scar.
Saksha said okay.
That way, if she's not, well, You know,
Saksha
Doesn't-
said she
doesn't
will be
really
there
matter.
shortly.
well, I would say if you have one scar here, but you have another scar somewhere else, and we're only sticking you once, it's a little suspicious, don't you think? Take no chances.
What do you want to repeat to see whether the
saying
recovery
if-
is?
I'm saying if we're going to track her, put that tracking chip under the scar, where we just stuck her with a needle.
Oh yeah, easy peasy. Faust can easily make sure it looks somewhat disguised.
Saksha said okay.
That's what I'm saying, Brian.
Yeah, that's fine. Matthias, are you good with that?
Though I understand the request for such a thing, we can, of course, leave her in the med bay for 3 days. I mean, this is a luxury for those who... And she's like, what tier worker is she? Is she just basically like labor?
Like lower than labor.
Got you.
I mean,
all right.
she's
I hope
on
everyone
the
else
line
is
where
paying attention to the screen right now.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know, Lady
Yep.
Sachi. Let's get Sachi in here.
What's going on?
I love how you
It's
guys
getting
like.
really cramped in here.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
why
step
I'm
out
not
and just
in there.
watch.
You guys can easily step out. I'm just gonna move some guards around.
I'm gonna watch.
All right.
And I mean, this is just, it's a normal, standardized thing.
Yeah.
And Dr. Faust is like, okay, I'm finna leave. Concern.
What is
roll me perception, Matthias. Actually,
Oh,
everyone who's
boy.
seen him leave.
fuck?
Oh, I'm willing to bet. Well,
Wait,
I like how
wait.
you're freaking out. He may just not like Lady Sachi because she may make him uncomfortable.
Wait,
Any
roll
bonuses?
awareness or roll perception?
Awareness.
Okay.
So re-roll that, Thalmius, please.
Any
then-
bonuses?
Yeah.
I'm afraid I can't give any bonuses for this.
That's
Okay,
fair.
not a problem.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
It's the same-
Oh
Well,
yay.
with a 5.
Okay.
Right.
What do we notice?
Not only does the moment he turns around and sees it, he immediately ducks his head down and just moves out. For those of you close enough, you can immediately see sweat coming down from the side of him. He looks visibly nervous, and he's trying to basically get out of that room immediately. And he's taking like a wide arc around, to the point of where like he's almost like trying to push you aside, Thalmius. You notice that he pushes you aside, but he's out the door by then, like quickly closing it behind him as he's making a distance between himself and Sachi.
Xerxes freaks out like that? That's a shocker.
That was not Xerxes, that was
No,
Dr. Faust.
That was
Oh,
Faust.
Could it make an agility test to try to catch him?
Sure, you can definitely do that. You can then hold him and then make him go like, "Look at her! Look at her!"
Well, he grabs his foot.
You get him by the arm, yeah.
Doctor, where are you going so fast?
I have things to look after. Please, let me go.
Oh, but I believe that our patient is right here, and I had not
I'm
yet
not
fully
needed for
heard.
this. I'm not needed for this. Please, let me go. Let me master senator.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but you seem overly
Saksha said
nervous, and
scrutiny.
I'm worried for your health. Perhaps she has something contagious, and now you've caught it.
Roll me a
Jack
toughness
is
check.
just being a dick.
Roll me a toughness check.
Oh man.
I'm re-rolling.
Oh, I'm re-rolling that because that's not good for anyone.
That's a 100. Your head
Yeah.
He punches you, your head explodes.
What the fuck is going on with my roll?
That's
it goes.
better.
Okay, you
You don't
hear
have
a little-
scrutiny.
You hear a little. Yeah, so scrutiny
gotcha.
halves if you don't have it checked.
Okay, I was just like, that's a lot of numbers to go to it, and I get it. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Sometimes you hear a small, and suddenly you feel like, oh, what's happening as you breathe in something.
Fantastic.
You
Oh.
think he might have deployed a drug to make you sleep.
Did he just try to get smart him?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he's looking you dead in the head now with the "let me go."
Sleeping gas? Really?
I hold on to him tighter and get the captain's attention as he's assaulted.
Oh no.
He hears Mr. Pilkington cock a bolt gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna step in here and be like, let the
Hold on,
doctor
and
work,
he'll hold his hand up. Master Thalmius, if you will unhand him, but he looks very stern at this point.
Yep.
I loosen my grip slightly.
Dr. Faust, is there a reason why you are acting such a way?
I'll explain myself, but not here.
Okay.
I want to roll a fellowship to try to, oh no, that's not judge intention, son of a bitch.
I believe the captain gave you an order, Seneschal. He says, looking at your hand still at him. Or has the chain of command been rearranged?
I can speak for myself, Dr. Faust.
Of course.
Master Seneschal, please step out of the room with the doctor.
I'm just going to give everyone control over Dr. Faust if that's how we're going to play it.
Jackie, buddy, let the doctor go.
Moves with him. I have just been accosted. Oh my god, everyone's tokens. Okay, I'm just moving you there because for God's sakes, I can't even grab my own token right now. I can't even grab the most important token, which is Mr. Pilkington's.
No, he wants to hang out with me.
No, he doesn't.
All right, we're
He
changing
wants to
this.
perch on top of my helmet.
Yes, please just give me control of Mr. Pilkington. Everyone else can die in a fire.
Damn it.
There we go. All right, let's rearrange this.
Okay. I want to know what this is before the session.
Oh my god, why is
I'm
it
getting nervous?
All right, so I'm gonna get to Sachi in a bit. So I take that we're now turning attention towards Dr. Faust.
Oh yes.
She is a psycho.
And?
I like how someone else moved another guard.
And?
She is.
Yeah. She's a psyker.
She is a psycho. I'm sorry, have I been the only one who has actually read on the books? They are scum. They are filthy, filthy degenerates. She can read my mind. I know that. You know why? Because I've read a book. I have read a medical book which has gone through how she goes about inquiring into that. I do not have anything in my brain that can currently shut down my body should she try that. And even then, apparently there's a chance that she can't just do that. Am I the only one in this room, he says, clearly losing his cool, that actually has a problem with things like that being in the same room as me? Am I really the only one that's got a problem with that? Am I surrounded by people?
Dr. Faust. She has been duly sanctioned by the God Emperor of mankind through his divine grace and his presence. She's been given these gifts by him and found not wanting in his presence. Though her gifts are unnatural, they are still ordained by him, would you say, as she has been given them at birth, those gifts. I understand you have a distaste for this.
I do.
But assaulting command staff officer with an agent, which was, and he'll gesture waiting for Dr. Faust to tell us what he just did.
As mere sleeping agent. He would go to sleep, have 10 minutes about. I'll be back here at my desk doing paperwork.
Potentially smacking his head on a bulkhead, causing massive cerebral hemorrhaging. In the end of the day, that was out of line. Next time.
Disagree.
That is
Lady
fine.
Lady Sachi has the ability to read my mind. My mind is highly important. And I carry information that I cannot give out.
I'm gonna roll
I would like to make an intelligence roll to see if he's talking about forbidden lore. To be able to call it, you know what I mean? Just like
okay.
I understand he actually takes the oaths he took. Seriously.
Oh, he is. Like he probably has insights that would need sanctioning, and you would need clearance for. Going
That's
back
why he's
to
so nervous.
Going back to his character, I'm gonna get out his character crew. Dr. Faust, show players. It's followed by 4 years of research where he was funded to explore methods to deploying chemical weapons against Xenos. Read that part.
Yeah, I completely missed that. Was that recently updated, or has that always been
Nope,
there?
that's always been there.
Okay, I completely forgot about that. I do apologize.
So
Okay,
he's
with that-
freaking out because someone can read his mind for information that has been sent that is not meant to be available. So he's freaking out because he's like, I can't stop her from reading my mind. I don't know if I can tell. This is how it's coming full circle.
Okay, I got you. He's legitimately panicking for all the right reasons.
I'd like to cut in.
Go on.
I mean, if you're gonna cut in, you'd cut in.
I mean, I don't want to actually.
When would you interrupt? That's the question. I'm not trying. No, I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying.
No. I'm trying to figure out when the best is. It's gonna be like right after you right when you do that intelligence check, pretty much. Like when you stop.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna say, Dr. Faust, as our rogue trader has said, she is ordained by the God Emperor, and she is a vital part of this crew. She may have unnatural gifts, but she uses them in the service of the Imperium and the Emperor. If you are that worried about information she might glean from your mind, I don't know what to say. You may have info in your mind, but unless it is something that is heretical, and
he leans over and says loud enough for everyone to hear, have you seen a man melt? I have. Would you like to know the chemical compositions for making a human being melt?
I haven't seen a man melt, but I've seen a man killed by almost any weapon of war you can think of, and it's
you have not seen chemical
conversation
warfare.
is done, gentlemen. Master Thalmius, or Thalmius. Fuck, I always say it wrong. Thalmius, please unhand the doctor.
I unhand the doctor. And apologize.
I'm gonna use my fellowship to kind of calm him down.
Sure. He gives you a nod. Thalmius is like, I get it. Like he's getting that, but he's now got his sights set on Abraham.
Hold on. That's a reroll.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, God, a 92.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
That's how he's like. That's not coffee you're drinking, you bitch.
There's a reason I didn't go with intimidate. I want to calm him down.
Mm-hmm.
That's much better.
Right. You bring it down to like
it's fucking definitely better.
It's a cold room, but I think at this stage everyone here can understand why he is freaking out.
And at that point, I will tell the guards in the room at ease, as I'm willing to bet they may have went from the low ready to guns slightly raised.
Yeah. I mean, the doors are shut, they're basically out, in the proper locations as needed.
Yeah.
As you would be
Well, I mean, but they see a guy deploy an agent on someone that they know that they've seen with the command staff, and then start arguing with the arch militant. It's like they might just be like, "Do I need to shoot this guy?"
I think now that I have had to compromise myself a little bit, he says, looking around at a lot of you, I'll have to provide you with this, and he hands you he goes to his desk, gets a note and hands it to the lot of you. It's sealed by the Administrator Midkay, and within it you find that Dr. Faust has a bomb implanted into his brain with a specific word that can be said to neutralize him. These are precautions taken by my order to ensure My information remains within me. Now that you, he points to the three of you, are aware of this, you too must know all of this to ensure that should I ever fail at any stage, this can be transmitted via a vox or verbally to ensure my immediate elimination. Information is key, gentlemen, and we cannot let the enemies attain me or what I have. Ergo why I remove myself and limit the knowledge that I have available.
This is a fair reason. However, she is part of our crew. We cannot be suspicious of each other. We must work in unison. Otherwise, this will bring our works for the glory of the Imperium and House Atreidies to a grinding halt.
Matthias will put a hand on Faust's shoulder and say, I appreciate your dedication to the oaths that you have sworn, and to your dedication to the Emperor as a whole. The Empire, as a whole. I will overlook the situation that happened in that room as things have come to light that potentially justify it. And he'll see Lady Sachi coming out, so he'll understand that Dr. Faust will definitely want this to be a quick conversation. He goes, you may resume your duties. Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, out of character, I would have seen this. I would have seen this in probably a lot on ships where people don't trust psychers.
Oh, that's people usually sort of go like, "Oh, would you look at the time? I better suddenly go into this door," and then they're standing in someone's house for a little bit, waiting for the psychers to pass. Cersei, I'm just going to take you out to be with the crew, as Lady Sachi's now going to explain what she's found.
Okay.
What has the Honorable Lady Sachi found?
I have opened the mind of the lady. We have a mixture of issues here. A while back, it was ordered by OX that we had to clean the warp engines as well as the Geller fields. This is not an unusual thing to my understanding. This lady was one of the slaves who was a part of the cleaning the area when the warp engines had a small spark. The spark of raw warp energy hit her in the eye, caused her amnesia. It has, however, also caused her to physically change. People do not recognize her, because her body is no longer the same.
How has it changed?
Her face has been reconstructed. As of such, the mutations that has taken place from the warp energies has now caused her to become what she is now. She is, unfortunately, tainted by the warp, by its energies, the mutations, although classifying her as a abhuman at best. It is something that is now leading her to be an unusual character.
Where do you see this? Do you see anything else happening after her exposure to this warp energy from here?
Currently, the warp energies have centered around her lungs, her heart, and her kidneys or metabolism, for lack of finer medical words. It seems to have manifested itself in that, which... she looks around and asks what... She asks all of you to come with her, so I'm just going to select your tokens. And we're going to go on a little road trip here.
Oh my god, yep. Oh, what have we done? There's just warp everywhere. There's just warp. It's just bad things, premonitions, doom, and death. We're all going to die. Write up new characters.
We're going into the forbidden section here.
Oh,
she will
ask. But I don't have clearance for that.
No, that's why she's asking the captain to basically supervise who is entering and basically justify or confirm the justification that what she needs to explain is something that's beyond, normal information. So if clearance can be temporarily granted for the people that enter.
He will
Temporarily.
weigh it. Yeah, he'll weigh it for a moment and turn to D'Arcus and say, you must choose to turn a blind eye and forget what you see in here, as the clearance is allowed by the God Emperor of Mankind, but guarded.